Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP. So let's just dive in, let's talk about a few things. So just refresh coin market cap, and we are sitting at roughly 1.85% up on Bitcoin on the 24-hour span, up about 2.66% on the total market cap. We've been sitting kind of stable around these prices, and I'm honestly happy to see Bitcoin close at a significant point today. If you guys missed it, I told you guys in yesterday's video, I was talking more so about how we are still continuing to make some higher highs on the daily closes. Check out the Bitcoin close from today. We've also didn't have that volatile of a weekend price action. I tell you guys that I usually don't trade the weekend prices because it is a fairly volatile time. I know that I did take some positions going back as far as like May 7th and May 8th, which was not a good decision because I was expecting around like 35.5K to hold. We did close at that point, but we ended up going lower. I got stopped out of some of those positions, which is why I say don't trade the weekends. The weekends are terrible times to trade the weekends. So I'm definitely looking forward to today. We do see the indices open today. We do see some more updates on the dollar and things like that. Bitcoin's still making some higher highs on the daily closes, which I love to see as well. I've been telling you guys that the daily close is very significant. If we close below 27.7K, that is when I do get very concerned, and that's where I'm looking for some very significant lows on Bitcoin to be targeted. Scam wicks are more than welcome, but as long as we are closing above 27.7K, the Confluence floor price does hold strong on Bitcoin, which I love to see. It does provide you guys a nice little bit of a strength, indicator on Bitcoin and Bitcoin's price action. But also, let's talk about what I'm watching for today. So overall, I'm watching the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and also the Dow Jones, as we did see them close out green on Friday. They closed out at a nice position, but I'm definitely watching these to see what is happening on Monday, or I should say today, as we might see some nice impulsive moves on all three of these. I'm definitely going to be watching them closely to see what happens within the market. I'm most likely going to be entering some heavy positions this week coming up because, guys, I've been saying it multiple times. I do believe that the bottom's in. It's my opinion. Don't take my word for it. Of course, we could go lower, but it looks like Bitcoin has been holding this nice floor at around like 25K. We scammed wick down to, but it looks like we've been building a floor roughly at around like 28.3K in terms of support, and we've been having some nice higher high closing points. So I'm definitely watching these three as we do kind of move on to today. In terms of the dollar, I recharted this in terms of the fib levels going all the way back to 2001 and going off of the 2008 lows, and we could actually kind of change this up just slightly because I know that we're not exactly on the bottom figure of this candle. So let's kind of move down. So there we have it. In terms of this chart, so this chart's actually pretty significant. First off, it kind of charted a little bit of the region at which we found some resistance going back as far as like 2016, 2017, before we had that nice impulsive move for, again, the 2018, 2017 bull run topping point. And you can kind of see that it built out a nice little point at around like the March of 2020 high point for resistance 2. Now, I'm not expecting the 618 to be our resistance, which is at 101, because we've already broken above it and found support at around the 618, but I'm eyeing the 702 at around roughly 106. Are we going to see something where we see, a nice reversal from here? Maybe we kind of bounce off of the 10-day EMA, or are we just going to come right back down, smash right through, resistance or support zones all the way down to roughly the 2018 lows at around like 88? That's going to be significant to see what happens here. More so, we'll most likely come down to around like the 382, but we'll most likely have the sideways momentum where we kind of test this support zone multiple times before eventually breaking down below it. Of course, I'm expecting the 180 to happen on the dollar very, very soon because, as you guys do see in terms of the RSI, we are at an overbought level before, of course, we do see that sell-off. We could still continue higher. We could even test up all the way to the 786 at around like 110, but I'm definitely hoping for this to be around its local top, because if we do see a 180 on the dollar while we do see indices and of course the crypto market kind of reversing in strength, this will 100% allow for even more leniency within price action within crypto and stocks, or aka risk on assets. Now, talking about risk on assets, we are seeing the 10-year yield hitting a little bit of a resistance zone at around roughly the 250 MA at roughly 3%. The significance around this chart is exactly what we've been talking about with stocks and crypto. risk on asset confidence. This tells us if there's a lot of buying confidence around risk on assets. And so far, this has been, increasing drastically, which tells us that there's a lot of confidence around these risk on assets. The only issue here is, as again, comparing it to the dollar, we are in an overbought area. Now, with this in mind, right, as we do really kind of watch the 10-year yield, if this does have that nice reversal, we will still see capitulation happen within this market, which means lower pricing. Now, as everyone is calling for it, the top to be in already. We're in a bear market. Everybody's following the 4-year structure. I've said that we are in a lengthening cycle where we could see, scam wicks here and there. Even a scam wick all the way down to roughly 21K could happen. But I'm still preparing for the inevitable, which is either one, we have our massive lengthening cycle run. I'm entering positions, I'm averaging in, I'm having stop losses just in case we do go lower, but I've been averaging in because I do believe that the bottom is in, because not only are we seeing confidence building around risk on assets, which I don't believe that this is full on resistance. In fact, I think that this will most likely continue even higher. I think a lot of people right now are holding the dollar right now because they are, they don't have the confidence to enter into risk on assets because they are uncertain on what is happening. But those individuals that are taking positions right now and not, playing into the fear levels are most likely going to be the winners. But with that being said, I'm entering positions, I'm taking major risk. You guys don't need to follow me. Of course, have your own, sort of entry plan. If you guys don't want to enter in now, if you want to wait until, again, cheaper prices, go ahead, be my guest. But honestly, I'm taking positions. And the reason why is because we look here, right? It took me 3 years, 3 crypto cycles to make it. 2013, bought Bitcoin, wrecked myself trading, sold in 2014 because I thought it was dead. 2017, bought Ethereum, rode it up, sold zero, stayed for the bear market, bought more. 2020, 2021, investments finally paid off. Crypto investing is a marathon, not a sprint. And this is exactly what I've been saying again with even XRP. Everyone is still waiting for XRP to make a new all-time high because it's been so long. Honestly, think about it like this. It's been a very long time. XRP has been trading in a sideways momentum for a very long time as well. And honestly, when we talk about XRP's demand, I think that XRP is going to continue to grow in demand. And everyone is starting to hate it, as we do see even over here in terms of the comments. Everybody's hating the price action because we've already ran up to almost $2. We're still down significantly from that level. We're down significantly from the all-time high. But when this does break out, which I do suspect it will have that massive breakout event, it is going to go for some significant highs. I'm expecting at least a 2 to 3x from the all-time highs going back to 2017, 2018. Now that time will come, in time, but as we are talking about this market, do I believe that the top is in? Absolutely not. I'm in the idea of a lengthening cycle. And when we talk about a lengthening cycle, we have some still major upside potential here. Now, shout out to XRP Darren here, but we also do see a quoted tweet here. It's all about printing money. This is the Fed assets increased by $2 billion. This has been a huge major thread going all the way back to April 6th from DeHarmify. Now, when we look at what recently happened, so we do see here this week, the Fed added $2 billion to its assets. It's such a small amount that it barely shows up on the graph below, direct link to the interactive graph. Now here we have the interactive, well, this is the chart for it. This is with the S&P 500, by the way. So let's actually open this in a new tab and let's look at this a few seconds. So we have these FOMC meetings. This goes back a little bit in time just to, roughly February. And then we also see March, April, and even currently. The FOMC meeting, we do see, a nice spike in the markets. FOMC minutes, Fed, assets increased by $17 billion. Spike in price, Fed decreases by $23 billion. Decrease, Fed increased by $6 billion. It takes a little bit of time. FOMC meeting, Fed assets increased by $43 billion. Fed assets increased by $8 billion. Fed assets decreased by $25 billion. FOMC minutes, Fed assets increased by, again, it's like a fraction of a billion. It's really nothing. Fed increases by $27 billion. Fed assets decreased by 9.4 or 9.6 billion. Sorry. And we do kind of see where we are now. We're waiting for that nice impulsive move here because we are still seeing, one, the increase in Fed assets, but then we do see the FOMC meeting, job reports, 428,000 jobs added, followed by, again, an increase by $2 billion for Fed assets. It's interesting, right? We're still waiting for an impulse here because is this going to continue to decrease in terms of the S&P 500, or are we going to have that nice impulsive move here? It's interesting to see what would happen from this, but we have been seeing a lot of printing around the US dollar, which tells me we are still going to see inflation rates increasing, which is funny because we are still seeing the dollar increase drastically in value as we are still seeing printing. And it's just comical to me that we're kind of in this, point of the market where, a lot of individuals are uncertain around taking positions in risk on assets while we're still seeing the dollar being printed every single day and becoming more and more inflationary. Now, also, we do see here regarding the SEC Gov versus Ripple, I think I'm pretty much up to speed now. My biggest takeaway is the whole commission except Clayton was left off the 68 drafts of Hinman's speech. Charles Gasparino and I reported that Clayton actually gave input on the speech before delivery. The Ethics Council, Minton and Serrano, who warned Hinman about his financial conflict of interest with matters regarding STB, was also left off the email distribution list. Tamara Brightwell was on the email list at the time. Brightwell was Deputy Chief Counsel in the Division of Corporation Finance's Office of Chief Counsel. According to the documents obtained by Empower US, Hinman deferred to her on screening for any conflicts of interest that might involve STB or any of his other past connections. I reached out to Brightwell to confirm she reviewed the speech. STB, as a member of the EEA, pays up to $15,000 a year to have access to exclusive content and contacts in the Ethereum ecosystem. As a member of the former and future firm with these ties, wouldn't Hinman's speech declaring Ethereum not a security and subsequently, the price of Ethereum soaring qualify him as participating impersonally and substantially in a matter that would have a direct and predictable effect on Simpson, Thatcher, and Bartlett? If Hinman didn't catch this, shouldn't someone at the SEC Gov Ethics Department have? It will be interesting to see if the SEC responds to Empower US's request for an investigation into the ethics officials. If this does happen, this could be a massive bombshell in terms of the SEC lawsuit versus Ripple. I've always said that the conflicts of interest is continuing to add up around this lawsuit. Not only are the conflicts of interest adding up around this lawsuit, but also we do see a lot of talks around the emails, right? We look at the emails, we look at the drafts around the speech, we look at the speech in general. There is so many things happening behind the scenes in terms of what the SEC has done, specifically members of the SEC, all the way up to this XRP lawsuit. You go back in time, things like this that are getting a spotlight shed on them is going to most likely massively affect this lawsuit. And it's going to massively affect this lawsuit in a very good way for not only Ripple, but also XRP holders. I've said, right, XRP 4 years without an all-time high is very interesting because if you think about it like this could be the thing that sparks a massive run in terms of XRP's value because, again, everyone is going to speculate. All it takes is one massive update within this lawsuit for individuals to FOMO in. Of course, I've talked about it like this. I said, could the XRP lawsuit either be a sell the news event or could it be something that really does spark a massive buy opportunity for a lot of individuals to enter in, as we will see massive media attention around the XRP lawsuit like we even are seeing right now from Fox Business. We will most likely see CNBC catching on to it. We will see Fox mention it. We will see massive tweets around it. Things could get very interesting very fast for this XRP lawsuit. And I want you guys to understand that we've been watching this XRP lawsuit for a very long time. Everyone is getting very impatient. Patience is the biggest thing that will, again, shake the retail individuals out. Also, we do see here, you won't believe the amount of XRP holders respond under my tweets about XRP versus QNT. One last time, they don't compete. They both have their fit in the enterprise and payments world. The fact that one of the biggest XRP ODL users use both should say enough. Guys, I've said it multiple times. You look at SBI. All right, we've talked about this talks with them, talking about their FX business, right? Very significant amount of money. We talked about QNT. We talk about QNT a lot on this channel. Similar to XRP, I've talked to you guys about, QNT and XRP probably, in the same light many times because I see the value behind not only QNT, but also even XRP. We look at these both, and I've always said, you kind of look at what XRP is doing with on-demand liquidity, right? XRP is essentially powering the on-demand liquidity process from Ripple. XRP is not Ripple. Ripple is not XRP. I've described this. I've really explained it multiple times. We already know that. It's pretty much common sense. But when you look at what XRP does in terms of the entire ecosystem around RippleNet, it's fairly significant. But the only thing that RippleNet does lack in terms of, the interledger protocol, because we know that the, interledger protocol could do interoperability, but it does, it needs all of these financial institutions, and we need every single bank to sign on to be a part of Interledger Protocol for, again, interoperability to actually work. Not only that, but guess what? The Interledger Protocol is not, it's not interconnected with all other networks. That's where QNT comes into play, right? Because QNT is building out an interoperability bridge between all DLTs, which is significant when you actually look at what's happening behind the scenes with the legacy systems. You look at a revolutionary, tale happening for the entire financial system. When we talk about that, we really kind of look into things deeply and kind of piece together the puzzle. You could technically say that Quant Network, okay, is building out the building blocks for the foundation to be built between every single DLT, as all of these DLTs are really kind of building out some significant, use cases. We talk about XRP with on-demand liquidity. We talk about XDC with digitization of trade finance. We look at XLM doing some pretty significant things with the retail, remittance market. A lot of these assets have their specific use cases and their niche audience that they are going after. I hate the fact that everybody's always talking about competition between a lot of these projects. I don't believe that people are doing enough research to understand what some of these products are actually doing within this market. But when we look at the building blocks that are happening between QNT and DLT specifically, even regarding XRP, it's pretty significant and it's easy to understand what is happening. QNT is going to be the interconnectivity bridge between all DLTs, while XRP is essentially going to be the bridge asset between a lot of the money that will flow throughout the entire world. We kind of look at that as XRP just being the bridge currency, if you will, or the settlement token on RippleNet, which essentially will be the building bridges for, again, a lot of these users and financial institutions. So things like this are very significant to watch for. I've definitely been paying attention to what QNT has been doing. I don't know what QNT came down to. I think it was like the low 60s in terms of the price per, QNT. I haven't bought more QNT because I've loaded up during last summer. I've been looking at a few other altcoins, but we are sitting at about roughly $72 right now. I think that this is a very significant price for QNT. I've actually explained why I do believe that QNT is the next Bitcoin. We came down to about like roughly $61, $62. I honestly think that QNT, you look back at these prices in, give it like, 3 years. These prices are going to be non-existent. The same goes for XRP. The same goes for a lot of the prices in this market right now. I think that we are going to see a revolutionary tale around crypto. I think that crypto is definitely going to play a vital role in not only everybody's life going forward here soon, but it's always going to be something that everyone's going to look at and say, yeah, I don't know about, crypto. I'm not utilizing it right now, but they actually are. I think that that's going to be the pivotal moment in time where we do see mass adoption of crypto technology. It's not going to be everybody getting in on crypto and buying crypto and knowing what crypto is, but people are going to be utilizing crypto without even realizing it. That's the mass adoption area, and that's the area that we are kind of building up to right now in terms of the digitization of the legacy system. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.